Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
You know what happened today?
We woke up?
No. What happened today? It was the end of the ride. The end of the ride that everybody in Jet Country knew when Aaron Rodgers was coming is going to go either one of two ways. You know, there would be a ribbon cutting for a new Jets world. Instead, today, 2 years in, it was a cord cutting. It was a cutting of the ties, and we all knew it was going to be one of the two. All knew one of the two. Aaron Rodgers acquired by the Jets a couple of off seasons ago.
Where is Aaron right now?
And where he is not with the Jets. And the reason why are we bringing this up? Because the Jets decided to tweet it out and put out a statement today. After all the stories were coming out over the weekend, I mean, and it was very coordinated. I don't know who was the one who put it out there. It flashed on every Twitter account of any news and information person that you follow. Ian Rappaport reported it right around the same time that Schefter reported it, right around the same time we had Scoopage on Fox.
Scoopage.
You know what I mean? And so it came out, and then we got Diana Rossini adding some more flavor, just like New Orleans cuisine. More flavor that the Jets and Rodgers met in person. And basically, Glenn told Aaron Rodgers, if we're going to do this, you are going to be one of the 53. You are going to be the person who comes to every single practice, and you are not going on Pat McAfee anymore. I mean, I'm probably oversimplifying it.
More or less,
But,
that was.
you know, you want to talk about just the nards kicking? Sure, why not? What did the Jets get for Aaron Rodgers in the end? They got a lot of excitement right off the bat. They got an outstanding infomercial for 6 weeks over the summer of 2023 on HBO. An outstanding infomercial on being a Jet and Jets fans pouring out 50 years of nards kicking. Every single time Rodgers stepped on the training camp practice field. Oh, we're finally going to get it. It's finally going to happen. We got Aaron Rodgers. We got everything else. All we just need to add is Aaron Rodgers. Oh, it was all poured out there only to get the axe in the chest like The Shining at the start of the 2023 season on opening night. Carries out the flag on 9/11, then gets carried off the field. And that's what the Jets get for 2 years of Aaron Rodgers. 4 snaps, 5 wins, $49 million in dead cap money that they can save $9.5 on if they designate Aaron a post-June 1st cut, which they will. And they coughed up a first-round pick, 2 2s, and a 6th-round pick to go get him. And let's toss in the 3rd-round pick they gave to go get Davante Adams for him, and all they got out of that was 3 more wins. And they did get, a nice moment for Packers fans to see Rodgers to Adams once again in very significant ways in the final games of the regular season that destroyed their draft position by a few spots. And they did get to see Aaron Rodgers toss 3,897 yards and 28 touchdowns, which is the 3rd best regular season for a Jets quarterback ever.
Oh, that's nice.
They got to see all that. But that's it. And we knew it. I knew it. I knew it when I was saying how great this is going to be. And I knew it when Robert Saleh, you remember him? Was talking about how he's got the receipts that was as long as a CBS, receipt of all the people saying that things aren't going to be gassing or breaking and all popping and all that sort of stuff. And now the guys who went and made this happen are all fired. All fired. They're gone. And the thing that, the thing about it is you can't blame the Jets for doing it. And you can't blame Aaron Rodgers for wanting it either. because it was the right move at the time. It really was the right move at the time. They drafted a team with Joe Douglas that arrived sooner than anybody expected. And Zach Wilson, who they drafted in 2021, was clearly not going to work out in New York City. And they had to move on from him. And Woody Johnson wisely told the Jets, go for it. Move on from him. And Aaron Rodgers is raising his hand, saying, I'll be Brett Favre 2.0. I'll be the first ballot Hall of Fame Packer who wants to continue his career and go to the Jets and try and make the Jets champions. I'll do it. And the Jets willingly said, okay. And God bless Brian Gutekunst for having zero leverage and still getting what he got out of the Jets. And kudos to the Jets for doing it. The only reason why I'm bringing up first round, 2 2s, 6th, and a 3rd for Devontae Adams is because it didn't work out. I say it to you all the time. Draft compensation means nothing if you get the Lombardi in the case.
Zero.
Nobody talks about what was given up. Anybody talking right now in Philadelphia about Howie Roseman gave up for this player or this amount of money or that cap hit? Or absolutely not. They're getting ready for a parade. They're greasing up poles. Not doing that. Anybody in Kansas City talking about what they gave up for Mahomes to draft up to go get him in Philadelphia? Has anyone ever done that? Maybe when Alex Smith took him to the playoffs that first year.
Bills fans?
I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Bills fans, because the Chiefs made a trade with them as a draft partner to go get Mahomes and Xavier Worthy. But I digress. Listen, that's the only reason why I bring it up. It didn't work out. That's the thing that's the gutter ultimately for the Jets as they cut ties with Rodgers on this day. The Thursday after the Super Bowl where one of the end zones was painted green and everybody thought that's what's going to happen while Rodgers is a Jet. We're going to see a green painted end zone. Turned out to be the Eagles. And you can't blame the Jets for cutting a cord now either. That's the crazy thing. You can't blame them. Hey, you hire Aaron Glenn after you blow out the coach and the GM mid-season and only get 3 wins for it, basically. And you're going to just cut it all out and burn it all down on the quarterback front. Because it doesn't need to be burned down in a lot of places on this roster. One would think, although it was a team effort when winning only 5 games this year. It's not Rodgers entirely. He did have 11 interceptions. And, you know, a handful of appearances media-wise that did cause maybe a conversation or two to be had locally in the locker room. Who knows? Everybody that I speak to says Rodgers is widely beloved in that locker room and will be tough to replace in that locker room. But if you're Aaron Glenn, you have to make a maneuver to say, I'm the only Aaron here that has a say in everything. For 2 years, the Jets bent over backwards. They didn't just acquire Rodgers. They turned it into Rodgers' world. That's all in there. That's the definition of all in. And it led to nothing. And now you're trying to install your culture. And if you don't want to sit down on a Tuesday and say, what did my quarterback have to say about the locker room, the loss? What did my quarterback have to say about immunization? You know, what did my quarterback have to say about geopolitics? What did my quarterback have to say about X, Y, and Z? If you're a head coach and you don't want any of that, this is what happens. And it makes sense. But the only thing is here is the Jets are back to square one on a quarterback again. You know, and you look back on the last century. We're now a quarter of the way into this century. And, you know, the Jets were a team that drafted Kellen Clemens on the back of the Chad Pennington era, and then finally draft Mark Sanchez and get a couple of major big-time seasons out of him before you realize not working out here. He's eating hot dogs. They're drafting Geno Smith. He gets a couple of seasons there, and then you're saying maybe it's not him. Let's draft Bryce Petty. And then you're drafting Bryce Petty, and Geno Smith gets clocked in the jaw by Ike Enemkpali, and you go to Ryan Fitzpatrick, who has a great season, but you're realizing it might not be all that great with Fitz at the end, so let's go get Christian friggin' Hackenberg.
I forgot about
Second
that.
round pick.
We are.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Let's go get him. He doesn't play a damn snap. Now you're in 2018. Let's get Sam Darnold. It's not the same Darnold Jets until it is, and then let's get rid of him, and let's get Zach Wilson. That doesn't work out. Let's get Aaron Rodgers, and yada friggin' yada. Here the Jets are in 2025 with Tyrod Taylor and a couple of kids on the roster that have yet to play a snap. And you're going into a free agency period where the best quarterback may be, wait for it, Sam Darnold, and a draft with two kids at the top of the draft that you might not be able to get by sitting there at 7th overall because Aaron Rodgers won too many games with Devontae Adams playing fantasy camp going out the door. Did I cover everything?
Yeah. Jeez.
So it's just the typical thing of just, you know what? Right move to try it, right move to stop trying it. But where does that get you? Hopefully with a new coach, with a new culture, who is going to install the right thing, with a bunch of kids on this team, find the right quarterback. God bless it, find the right quarterback. Stop this frigging carousel that keeps on spinning and refuses to stop spinning. And when it stops and somebody with an incredible resume hops on it, he doesn't hop off it with the football gods snickering in the corner.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.